is your opinion about breastfeeding in public?
Well, I think that breastfeeding is something that's natural, so there really shouldn't be an issue with it being done in public. But I think that if, say, a mother has a chance to do it in private, not in public, like go to a separate room or something, then it's I advise it.
I think there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, I think it's wrong that people sexualize breasts so much when they were meant to breastfeed kids.
Because a lot of people don't feel comfortable with being around someone like that. But if it's a situation where the mother has to do it, then by no means should she not do it just because she's in public.
I think breastfeeding in public is in no way a problem. It's just a natural thing to do. It is somewhat strange that people seem to reject the idea so much.
My opinion is really that it doesn't matter if they breastfeed in public because, I mean, they're feeding their child. I'd rather have a child well fed than not, really.
What do you think about the possibility that breastfeeding might be forbidden by law in Brazil in the future?
My opinion?
Yeah.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
Public.
I think that's completely wrong, and it's nothing. They're doing something that's so natural, and that they're raising a kid, and the person that's creating the law has nothing to do with it. They don't understand why they're doing it. It's there for the image, but not for the right purposes.
Acho que a nossa política e os que definem as leis têm muito mais coisa para se preocupar do que com isso. Essa é uma coisa entre mãe e filho, e a necessidade de uma criança, quem sabe realmente é a mãe.
I don't think that creating laws to forbid breastfeeding in public is going to be necessarily a good thing. If that mother doesn't have the chance to go anywhere else, then she's going to have to do it in public. And if there's a law that says it's illegal for you to feed your child in public, then I don't think that law should exist. I think the child's safety, the child's health should be prioritized over simply this law.
What makes you feel better? A child crying of hunger or a woman breastfeeding in the same place you are?
A woman breastfeeding, of course, because she's giving the kid food and nutrition.
Makes me feel better. A woman breastfeeding the child in public.
Certamente uma mulher amamentando é a coisa mais natural do mundo. Já uma criança chorando incomoda todo mundo que está à sua volta e ninguém vai saber se é por fome, se é por maltrato e tudo mais. Então, a mãe amamentando sempre estará favorável para mim.
Well, of course, I'd feel much better if I'd see a woman breastfeeding where I am than if I see a child crying of hunger. I think that even though people can feel it can create an awkward situation if a woman is breastfeeding in public, especially when there's a lot of people, a lot of strangers around her, it's much better than just to have a baby crying of hunger. A baby's health, a baby's safety should definitely be prioritized over just what other people around are thinking.
I feel better if a woman is feeding their children in the same place as I am because hearing a baby crying makes me feel bad and it's annoying at some point to some people. So it's better if a mother feeds their children.
Have you ever seen someone breastfeeding in public, and what was your reaction or the reaction of the people that were there?
Well, yes, I have seen people breastfeeding in public, but and the most people's reaction is basically that yes, it's something natural, it's something that needs to be done, but most people still are still apprehensive around it, and even I am too. Even if I think it's something that really should be done.
I have never seen anyone breastfeeding in public.
I've never seen someone in my front do it, but I saw magazines talking about it, and I saw a person that was breastfeeding in front of a Victoria's Secret's ad, and she was taken from that place, but the Victoria's Secrets were showing her boobs, and there was nothing wrong with the ad, but with the person doing for their kid there was.
I did actually. I lived in the United States when my children were babies, and I breastfed in public, and I didn't get any bad reaction from anybody.
Eu já amamentei em público e por opção pessoal eu sempre coloquei um paninho por cima, nunca me expus meu corpo em público, mas isso é uma opção minha. Em contrapartida, já presenciei outras mulheres amamentando e sempre com muita naturalidade.
In your opinion, why nudity in carnival is faced naturally when breastfeeding in public has caused so much polemic?
I agree. If we are going to prohibit women from breastfeeding in public because of their nudity and allow other posters around the cities or people around the city being nude, I think it's absurd. I think we need to be consistent in allowing people to express themselves. And I'm not even talking when you're breastfeeding, you're expressing themselves. You're doing a nature's act of feeding and bonding again with your child. So I think it's absurd. I think any kind of expression should be allowed if people want to go into carnival nudity.
I'm not sure, but I think that breastfeeding in public is the person is exposing themselves not because they want to be seen, but because of the necessity to feed their child. While in carnival, it's a choice that they take to expose themselves in to a wide variety of audiences.
Cut.
Well, in reality, I don't really know why people treat nudity in different ways depending on the situation. I think maybe because Carnaval is something here so cultural of Brazil, and it's been done. It's a festival that's known around the world and gone for so long that people sort of accept it as something that they can't change, as something that's just it's a party and that's the way things are. That's the way the culture is. While breastfeeding is something that people really they feel more in contact with, they're more directly in contact with the person than in carnival, because in like if you see nudity at a parade, you're looking at it from a distance and everything, but if you see a woman breastfeeding beside you, it's sort of you feel more intimate with that person, and that sometimes makes people feel apprehensive.
There was also an online survey with the same questions. Around 50 people answered the questions. The majority of them had the same opinion about breastfeeding. They agreed that it shouldn't be seen as an issue and that it is something natural. Also, most of the people thought that there shouldn't be a law to prohibit women from breastfeeding in public. For this question about if you have ever seen someone breastfeeding in front of you or if you ever breastfed in public, a lot of people said it was something natural and nobody did something, or some people would just whisper about it and look at it in a different way. For the carnival question, a lot of people said that it's something cultural and everybody is already used to it, and that women are usually sexualized by everybody. And then when they're seen breastfeeding their child, it's something that is not attractive to them. So that's why it probably annoys some people.